Welcome to the third Canadian Symposium on hepatitis C virus. My name is Marc Bilodeau. I'm part of the National CIHR Research Training Program in hepatitis C. And it is a real pleasure to have you all in for this third venue of this symposium, which first took place in Montreal, of course, 3 years ago. So I would like first to thank the members of the organizing committee. As you all know, to put together such a symposium, we need some manpower, and you have the list here of all the people who took place in the organization of the symposium. I would like to stress a few names. First, Jordan Feld, who is the local chair of the symposium. Second, Sonia McParland, who is a NCRTP student. She's been a student with us for a number of years, and she's also based in Toronto, and she's been extremely helpful with all the local organization of the symposium. And finally, Norma Shusha, who is the administrator of the NCRTP program. Most of you know Norma Shusha. If you don't know her, she's the very pleasant lady who's taking care of all the needs of all of us on the NCRTP program. So when you want to host a symposium, you first look at places in Canada. You can choose Montreal, but you know that in the middle of February you're going to be stuck in with a bit of snow. But interestingly, we chose Toronto, and we're still stuck with some snow. I guess this is Canada, and we have to live with it, at least for a certain number of decades. I would just like to talk, to give you a few words regarding the NCRTP program. For those who don't know, this program, it's been CIHR funded strategic training program specifically devoted to the research on hepatitis C. It's been put together and launched by Dr. Jenny Heathcott more than 10 years ago. It's been a very successful program with students from summer students up to postdoc in all areas of HCV research, and with mentors all across Canada. Now let's just talk a little bit about our program today. As the NCRTP is based on the 4 CIHR pillars, the symposium is also divided among the 4 pillars. First, we have the clinical science pillar. We'll have a guest speaker, Dr. Sanjeev Arora from New Mexico, who's going to give his experience regarding the medical project, which has been a real revolution, a small revolution in the management of hepatitis C treatment. After our guest speaker, then we have one of our mentor of the NCRTP program who's going to give a talk, and then we have 2 selected abstracts which are going to be presented. Next, the biomedical sciences, and this time we have Dr. Marcus Heim from Switzerland, who's been a loyal guest to Toronto, and who's accepted to come again and give a talk this year. Behavioral sciences, this time we have Professor Carla Treller, who traveled from Australia to come to be with us today. And after lunch, we'll have a break, and it will be the PHAC break. It's interesting that it comes just after lunch, so it will be an interesting task for people of PHAC to make sure that they don't put us all asleep after lunch. So we'll welcome their input. And finally, epidemiology and public health with Dr. Kim Page from San Francisco, who is also our guest speaker this year at the NCRTP annual meeting, who will take place tomorrow and on Sunday. And finally, last year we started with, we introduced a debate in our symposium. It was a very interesting debate regarding, for those who remember, the opportunity to test or not baby boomers. Now this year's debate is regarding who should treat patients with hepatitis C. Should it be reserved for specialists or for anyone who holds a pencil and who has the right to prescribe drugs in Canada? So I think it should be an easy debate, I hope. And I won't tell you what is my opinion. And I'm sure you're probably, you don't know me well. I would not want to finish my introduction without thanking our sponsors, who are extremely important for the organization of this symposium. We've been lucky to have a very strong support from CIHR, from the Canadian Liver Foundation, as well as from the industry ever since the beginning of our first symposium, and this is also true this year. So thank you very much for all the industry and the public sponsors.